me. That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Welcome to Higher Ed Pulse, your no-fluff guide to artificial intelligence in higher ed. I'm Mallory Willsea, bringing nearly 20 years of edtech and marketing expertise straight to your earbuds. Higher ed leaders are expected to master AI overnight, but let's be real, no one has time to sift through every headline, hot take, or research report. That's why every Monday, I'll break down what actually matters. Fast, clear, and to the point. Want to sound like the smartest person in the room at your next team meeting? You're in the right place. Let's dive in. Welcome to Enrollify's Hall of Fame series, where we spotlight the voices shaping how higher ed marketing and leadership evolve in real time. I'm your host, Mallory Willsea. Today we're featuring Marina Cooper, Senior Associate Vice President for Integrated Marketing and Brand at Johns Hopkins University. Marina has spent more than 20 years leading creative, digital, and brand teams across higher ed and the public sector. She's known for her boldness, her discipline, and her ability to bring both vision and guardrails to fast-moving marketing environments. Across her appearances on Higher Ed Pulse and Lessons in Leadership, Marina has tackled some of the biggest questions facing CMOs today, like how to harness AI-driven creative optimization without losing brand integrity, and how to lead with confidence while navigating the challenges of imposter syndrome. I had the absolute pleasure of chatting with Marina a couple months back on the Higher Ed Pulse. So let's dive into that episode.
Yeah, my thinking is real-time changes sound really scary because we need that real-time temperature and tone check, right? In terms of the climate that we're in, maybe the thing that just happened at our institution a few hours ago or just yesterday. And we as human beings can make those real-time adjustments because we know what's going on. And sometimes those algorithms don't work in our favor. And so that additional review and decision making is really important and important before we publish. And so when I think about the real-time changes that can come with dynamic creative, that's one piece. And then you can get really specific about the creative itself. Okay, well, maybe fonts can change. Maybe we can, change the weights of something or the hierarchy of words because, we're pulling that user through a journey that now we need to emphasize more messaging than graphics. That seems okay. But I may not want them to, work on photography. I may not, that level of creative adjustment, we may not be comfortable with. We may not be comfortable with the words changing. We may be very specific and prescriptive about, what's interchangeable here and what needs to stay static. So I think there's a lot of nuance to what we are allowing to change in these formats that we can ask questions about. But in the climate that we find ourselves in today, on any given campaign, at any given moment, that real-time publishing, depending on your industry, I think is something to think twice about. The other piece of it, I think, also is we've all, at this point, likely been consumers of AI-generated imagery. And you can almost pick it out, right? Like you can pay attention really closely to the words on that sweatshirt. It doesn't look like your university's thing. So we have to be careful with that. We have to be thoughtful about what we will allow AI to do in our creative and what we will, again, put guardrails on, as you said. I love the focus on guardrails here because I think there are guardrails for not only the ways in which we use AI, but I think guardrails we have to establish with our teams as well around its use. But I think the first thing we have to think about is how we must learn alongside the machines and use them to complement our strategies. And so as a leader, I think if you are not finding ways to integrate AI, even at the most basic levels within your team, then you're missing an opportunity to not only optimize your work, but to move forward in ways that the world is moving forward. So I think that is important.
Marina shows us what leadership looks like in practice, curious about innovation, but grounded in brand, culture, and ethics. She balances boldness with boundaries, and that's a theme she's carried into her leadership story well beyond AI. Her conversation with Carrie Phillips on the Lessons in Leadership series was electric. So let's jump to that next.
As a high achieving leader, I think I really identify with this issue, and I think imposter syndrome is something that just seeps into our lives, particularly as we're taking on new challenges, right? And those challenges are usually what we're focused on more rather than reflecting on our successes. And so, one of the strategies that I use, number one, is recognizing that feeling. I participated myself in an executive leadership course where the professor was like, your grown zone is your grow zone. So I have to recognize that I'm feeling that way because I'm probably about to move into an untested area where I'm about to grow as a leader. And so I try to first recognize that feeling. The second thing I try to do is to recall my own experiences, right? Like, what have I learned? What have I learned from others? Why am I uniquely here sitting at this table? And what can I offer based on those experiences that only I can offer? And then it makes it feel like, I have a responsibility to be here, and I have a responsibility to also hear what other people's perspectives are. And so I can continue to learn and grow. And I think the last thing I try to do in those settings is also to recall, right? Like I said before, but to also rally my tribe. It's really important to surround yourself by positive people. I have a lot of relentlessly hustling, high achieving professionals around me who I know feel this way too, right? But, and they can recognize when, hey, Maria, I really liked what you did there. Or remember in this challenge, how you handled it last time, or even more importantly, how I can ask them questions. How did you get through this problem? How did you solve for this? So I think recognizing the issue, recalling your own experiences, and then rallying your tribe, right? So that you can respond and be present in those moments in ways that you may not have known you could do.
What I love about Marina's leadership lens is how human it is. She's willing to talk about the doubts that come with stepping into bold roles and the ways leaders can reframe them as opportunities for growth and empowerment. Marina Cooper embodies the theme of balancing boldness and boundaries. Whether she's navigating AI-driven marketing shifts or supporting her peers through the challenges of leadership, she models curiosity paired with discipline, innovation anchored in integrity. Thanks for joining us for this Hall of Fame edition, and stay tuned for more episodes featuring the leaders rewriting the playbook for higher ed marketing and leadership. Thanks for listening to the Higher Ed Pulse. The show is a proud member of the Enrollify Network, home to Higher Ed's largest collection of podcasts. Enrollify is where higher ed goes to grow. So be sure to check out our other podcasts, webinars, video clips, blogs, and more. Visit Enrollify.org and subscribe for all the latest details and content drops directly to your inbox. Enrollify is brought to you by Element 451, the digital workforce platform for higher ed. Learn more at element451.com.